Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Bareham Engines. So, I'm on the Z-Tech today, mate.
Yep, so you got some of the bottom end, or most of the bottom end together.
Well, I've got the crank in and the rods and the pistons.
Just got to put,
which is a good start, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's been a little bit of a mix-up with this, mate.
As
with the old quoting.
Oh dear.
And this is a perfect example as to why you've got to be very specific in your emails.
Yeah.
I mean, bear in mind, when I first started speaking to Mark, the owner, was earlier on in the year.
Yeah.
So since then, we've got more and more into the getting things more specific and getting the estimates correct, wording it all correctly via email, and getting it in writing.
Yeah.
Before that, you know, last year and the year before and way prior to that, it was a nightmare really, because, you know, they could have you over a barrel if you didn't get it done. So this is a perfect example. I spoke to Mark, and Mark sent me a list of what he would like doing, and then said, look, I've got X amount budget, including the VAT, are we going to get it done for that? And the answer from me was yes. So this email I forgot about, to be honest with you. So what I've done today is I've updated the estimate, sent it over to him. He rang me back up with a bit of a panic on, saying, why is it about 1,500 quid more than what you estimated? I mean, an estimate is an estimate.
Yeah.
So basically we've had to dig back through the emails, and we've sort of come to a conclusion. I've worked out what the confusion was. He's put on there head porting and cams, and I misread I didn't see the head porting really, so I just estimated him for a go through on the head.
Oh, right.
So basically, he's got me over a barrel on that one.
Yeah.
But it's fair dues, it's, you know, at the end of the day, so I've got to be very careful when I email people back. I said to Mark, in the early days of you emailing, you've got to bear in mind I get a lot of emails, people saying how much to do this, how much to do that. Not much materialises it from it. But I've still, if I'm going to reply, I've got to be very sort of specific, I suppose. So we've done a bit of a deal. There is obviously extra bits that have gone into this which he didn't list initially, so they're on top of that. So I've had to sort of take some of it on the old chin.
Okay.
But anyway, it don't matter. But yeah, I've just got to be more careful.
Yeah, well,
there we go.
Of emails, didn't you? So
but anyway,
easily missed. But
I have talked this up, and number 4 main and number four big end, I've just plastic gauged, mate. See what we've got. So we've got pretty much a 1.9 journal on the big end and about 2.2 on the mains. I plastic gauged them, mate, and we have got pretty much, I would say we've got about 1.9 on the big ends, which is
bang on. So you're looking for 1,000 per inch.
It's about 1,000 per inch, around about that. On the, we tend to go. I would go to sort of 1.2 per inch abort on the mains, 1.1 on the big ends. Yeah. And the same the other way.
A little bit of leeway, isn't there?
Yeah, I like, if it's going to be a performance engine, I'd rather it be size on the big ends or slightly under, so like 0.9, so you've got a slight tighter clearance, but that's absolutely perfect. We've got 2.2 on the mains, so we've got 2,000, so we're running about, what's that, 0.9 per inch, which is fine.
Yeah, around there,
Yeah, so that's absolutely fine on that, running it slightly tighter on the mains. Not a bad idea at all. You probably find it will keep the oil pressure up. Yeah. So I'm happy with that one, mate.
Ideal.
I'm going to clear this plastic gauge off now, get the mains on there and torque it all up.
Lovely. So he's using the standard pistons. It's been deglazed.
Yeah, so obviously there's going to be a disclaimer on the bores, because although the bores have come up lovely, and I shouldn't think there's going to be any problem. They measure perfect. They've deglazed lovely. We put a set of rings in. We've had to gap the rings. I made a little bit of a boo-boo and broke the second ring yesterday, so I've had to buy another set of rings for the one piston and use the middle ring off that, gap it again. We've had to open the gaps up probably about 5 thou on the top on the middle ring, so they're a little bit tight. While we're on the subject of the rings, mate, you see the rings are in a nice little
Oh yeah.
A nice little orange stand there.
Very nice.
Sitting next to this little tray here, which you could use for sort of anything, really.
Bits and bobs.
Bits and bobs. Yeah. And over here, we have these little crankshaft stands with the Barham Engines emblem in them.
They're very cool.
Look like they've been
3D printed.
3D printed.
Yeah.
Trick as hell. These are come in a box today, along with those, with 2 stickers saying Level Motorsport. So Level Motorsport is the company that we're going to be using to do the wiring on the E30.
Oh right.
We're booked in for, sort of booked in roughly for December. Bit ambitious, I think, but
yeah.
Maybe we could.
Well, it might work out.
Might work out. But Matt is the owner of Level Motorsport. If you head over to YouTube and see Level Motorsport and have a look at their website, they do some phenomenal stuff there. Proper professional outfit, and they actually did all the wiring recently for the Driftworks Blue E30 M3. Yeah, so lovely stuff. He makes his own carbon fibre panels, button panels for the steering wheel and all this. Wow, trick. So yeah, Matt's kindly, obviously he watches our channel, and he's thought, oh no what, I'm going to make these and send them to him.
I really like them, they're cool.
They're well good, aren't they? So thank you very much, Matt. It's a really kind gesture, and I've got him to, he said, make sure they're all right. If you need any adjustments, we can. But if not, he'll get some more made for us.
Yeah, well, it's a good idea.
It's a bloody good idea.
Keeps the cranks off the tabletops and...
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
Really good idea, isn't it?
Yeah.
It looks proper
Keeps them out of the
factory.
way. Yeah, it does.
Thank you very much, mate. We were just going on, what were we just talking about?
Sort of the channel in general.
The channel.
Sort of analytics and all that nonsense.
Analytics and where it's sort of potentially could be heading.
Yeah.
And what it's doing for the company at the minute, because obviously the channel is, although we enjoy it as a sort of social thing, really, we enjoy making the videos, don't we?
Yeah, it's good fun.
It is really, it's a great advertising tool for our company. So we've just been sort of having a little chat about it and where it is. It's been going about 2 years now, haven't we?
Yeah.
And how much everything's changed since. And we sort of compare it to other channels of the same sort. So the views that we get, we would say are pretty consistent, and I would say on the decent end.
Yeah.
We're getting like an average, 15,000 views, 20,000 views.
Well, it's normally between 15 and 30, really, isn't it?
Yeah, something like that.
Good video will be up near 30,000.
That's it, yeah. So we're really thankful to the subscribers that watch the videos, but we're even more so sort of pleased that a decent majority of those viewers on each video are new viewers.
Yeah.
So it might be people that watch and then don't come back or don't subscribe, but the good thing about that is the more new people we get to see, the more chances we are that they'll send us an engine, isn't it, at the end of the day?
Yeah.
So yeah, it all seems to be going well, mate. And anything could happen with it, couldn't it?
Well, it could. You don't know. You don't know what's going to happen.
No.
But it seems to be on a healthy path. It's just sort of, consistently getting decent views.
Yeah.
It just
done wonders for the business, isn't it?
Oh, massively.
And it's still a very new channel, isn't it, I suppose,
it is
after
really,
2 years.
in the grand scheme of things. You look at some of the really big channels and go back to their early videos, and it's like 6, 7, 8 years ago, and they were getting even similar. Yeah, like Matt Armstrong, exactly.
Never know, mate.
Yeah.
This time in a few years.
Wow. We'll have to see how it goes.
Could be building engines for fun.
Yeah.
And buying properties all over the shop.
Need a bigger workshop if that happens.
Turbo in the Lambo and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
You never know. But yeah, it's all going really well.
Yeah.
Quite excited to see what happens in the future with it, really.
Exactly, yeah. It's nice to... It's exciting to think, maybe this could happen or that could happen. And
that's it, yeah.
Yeah. It opens a lot of doors, doesn't it, for things,
It does. And I like sort of talking about the channel, really, sometimes, and asking the subscribers if they just, put down in the comments where you think that we should change anything with the channel, the content.
Yeah.
If at all. I'm quite happy with the way it's going at the moment.
I do like what we do at the minute. We sort of managed to include everything. We're fairly technical on stuff, but we don't spend ages and ages talking about one thing.
No.
We sort of have a few topics throughout the video, and yeah.
Yeah, that's it. They never really know what they're going to get from video to video, do they? No. But we have tried to include a lot more technical, haven't we, in the last few months?
Yeah, definitely.
But it's difficult. The trouble is, you know, if you're doing 3 videos a week, it's like a lot of the time we haven't progressed a great deal. We're doing other stuff, haven't we? So you can't just keep doing technical stuff. Yeah, it's going all right, mate.
Yeah, it is.
Let's just head round the corner. We haven't seen Isaac balancing a tank for quite a while. Sounds like he's doing one at the minute. Oi.
Right.
What's going on here then?
Well, we got a Cosy crank in for a balance.
Just the crank?
And rods, but we haven't got the flywheel or the clutch or anything, or pulley. Apparently so it's going to come back and have all that balanced onto the crank.
Oh, okay, so just the crank.
So he just wants the crank done. It's fairly out, to be honest. You see,
that's unusual. It being.
I know.
There, isn't
it's weird. It's really odd.
Is it on a standard journal size? I wonder, or it's been.
I don't know.
It may have been ground and been very slightly bent in the past.
Yeah.
But that's why. So, if that's the case, that's why it's very important that you.
The only other thing is, this is one of them weird cases where it seems the crank bolt is drilled a little bit wibbly wobbly.
Okay.
But it runs all right once it's fully threaded in. But as I was threading it in, I thought, oh Christ, this is like a bit.
Oh, okay.
On the piss. So
on the piss.
It's pretty much done now. We've just got to do a little bit to the back end, and then.
So how far out was it up on the gauge?
It was like the back end was up around 50, I think. So I think it must have had something go wrong with it at some point. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh well, mate.
But yeah.
That's why it's quite important to balance, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a bit of a strange one.
Bit of an odd one, that. Well, I am just round the corner and I'm about to start doing the valve clearances on the Zetec head. So, here is the head all laid out. Just turn the radio down there so we don't get done. You can see I've put the buckets in there. Now, these are not hydraulic. They are not a solid bucket, as in just a complete bucket, and they are not a bucket with a shim underneath. So sometimes you get a shim that sits on top of the valve springs cap like this, and then the solid bucket sits on top of that. But these are just a solid shim with a big button bucket on the top, shim on the top there. So we're going to set about doing the clearances. Now I'm expecting the clearances to be closed up because we've not only faced the valves, which are going to bring them up like this, we've obviously cut the seats as well. And the head's been very nicely ported by CTM. So I'm expecting them to have all closed up. I've just been on the Autodata and the clearances are 0.15 on the inlet, which is 6 thou, and 0.3, which is 12 thou on the exhaust. The exhausts are usually always bigger than the inlets, give you that bit more because of the heat, I suspect. So I'm going to get the inlet buckets in now, put the valves in, and probably on the next video we'll see how far out they are, guys. But until another video, which will be Fridays, have a great evening. We'll see you then. Cheers.